Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be in the key of E flat major, and I'm going to continue the series on contemporary chords for every tone of the scale. All right, and we're covering all 12 keys. Today, again, we're going to be in the key E flat. So we know that E flat's 1, F is 2, G is 3, A flat's 4, B flat's 5, C is 6, D is 7, and E flat's the 1. Alright, let me turn down my strings just a bit because it seems a little bit powerful. Alright, so on the 1, we know we're going to be in E flat. The 1 is going to be E flat major. So you have E flat, G, and B flat. That's the option you can play there. E flat major chord. You can make it a sus2 voice instead of playing the 1, 3, and 5. If you play the 1, 2, and 5, that makes it an E flat sus2 chord. Alright. Then you can also play it as an E flat sus4. Instead of playing the 3, you play 1, the 4, and 5. Alright, so that's your E flat sus4 chord. Okay, now you can also, anytime you're playing a major chord, you can play it as a regular major and add that second scale degree. Okay, so that's E flat. You can add it there if you like to. G and B flat. Okay. Now also you can do this as a major 7th chord because we know the 1 is typically going to be major according to the number system, right? So to make it a major chord, it would sound something like this. Right? And so here I'm playing an E flat and a B flat in my left hand. My right hand is playing D, G, and B flat. And you can invert it. Now again, I'm not thinking of all of these notes separately to form the chord. Anytime I want to form a major 7th, I play the 1 and the 5 in my left hand. In the right hand, you go to the 3rd scale degree, 1, 2, 3, which is G, and form a minor chord. G, B, flat, and D. And that gives me my major 7th voicing. Alright, now another thing that I like to do on the 1 again is to play the major 9th. It sounds like this. Okay, so how do I come up with this major 9th voicing? Again, I'm playing the bass, the 1 and the 5 in my left hand. My right hand is going to find the 5th scale degree, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is B flat, and form a major chord. And there I'm just inverting the major chord into different positions. So root position for that B flat major, first inversion, second inversion. Okay, and it sounds really nice. Alright, and then the third hack that I like to use, anytime I'm forming a major chord, I can add a right-handed chordal voicing, right? We know the chordal chords are made by stacking 4th intervals. For example, if I had a C chordal chord, I'd go up a 4th, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 4th scale degree of C is F. And then what's the 4th scale degree of F? 1, 2, 3, 4, B flat. Right, so that's how you form your chordal chords. Okay, I have a whole series and tutorial on that as well. So check that out if you are not familiar with how to form chordal chords and you want more detailed instruction. But anyway, so on the key of E flat, on the 1, right, the hack for using chordal voicings over a major chord, essentially, is to build the chordal chord off of the 2nd, 3rd, 6th, and 7th scale degree, and it gives you 4 different options, right? So if I'm on the E flat in my left hand, the right hand, if we wanted to form it off of the 2nd, that's going to be F. My chordal chord sounds like this: F, B flat, and E flat. If I want to form it off of the 3rd scale degree, 1, 2, 3, it's going to sound like this: G, C, and F. So you can go from the 3rd to the 2nd, and you can also do it off of the 6th: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is C. 6 is there, and then off of the 7th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait. Okay, so you can do it off of the 3, 2, right? 7th and 6th. The 7th is that D, so you have D, G, and C, and that sounds nice. Okay, so those are some options of things that you can do when you're on the 1. Again, you have the major, right? Major chord, sus2, sus4, right? You can add the 2. You can make it a major 7th. You can make it a major 9th. And you can use those chordal voicings off of the 3, the 2, the 7, and the 6, and it sounds nice. Alright, so that's what you can do on the 1 in the key of E flat. Let's look at what you can do on the 2. So the 2 in E flat is going to be F. And we know according to the number system, the 2 is typically going to be a minor chord. So you can play this as a regular F minor. F, A flat, and C. And again, you can do different inversions, right? Or you can make this as a minor 7th chord. To form the minor 7th, you find the 3rd scale degree of the chord. So 1 to 3, and make it a major chord. So A flat major. And I'm just inverting that A flat major. And that gives me my minor 7th sound. Okay. Another thing that's commonly done is to play a minor 9th. And to make a minor 9th, you go and find the 5th scale degree. So 1, 3, 5, and form a major, form a minor chord. So C minor gives you that minor 9 sound. Okay. Because you have the 1, 3, the 5, right? The 7, and that G is the 9. So that's a shortcut for finding the minor 9th. You can also play a minor 11th chord. So to form that minor 11th, you play the minor in your left hand, or you can just play the 1 and the 5 in your left hand. Go down a whole step from your bass, which is going to be, if I'm in F is the bass, down a half to form that whole step down, right? And make that a major chord. So E flat major over top of that F minor gives you that F minor 11. So we're building fat chords here, guys, and extending it just by looking at it a little bit differently. Okay, so that's your minor 11th, and then of course you can do the chordal chord off of the bass. And also off of the 2nd scale degree of that F. So F off of the bass is F, B flat, and E flat. Alright, chordal chord in my right hand. Go up to the 2nd, G, C, and F, and that still sounds good. So you're on the 1. You can go to the 2. Alright, so those are things that you can do on the 1 and the 2. Let's take a look at what you can do on the 3. Alright, so before we take a look at what we can do on the 3, I would encourage you, if you're enjoying this and you're getting some benefit out of this information and this content, make sure you hit the like, click, and subscribe button. That way you'll receive alerts anytime that I'm posting new videos. And again, I'm going to be posting new videos every single Saturday. Next up is going to be a tutorial on how to actually learn songs by ear. So that way you're not constantly asking people, hey, can you show me this song? Hey, can you show me this song? Also, I've gotten a lot of requests, and I've been working on this for months, and it's loaded with content. And that's going to be a course on congregational praise songs, those devotional hand clapping, foot tapping types of songs. You guys are going to love it. Okay, I've never seen anything like it done, broken down this thoroughly as the way I'm doing it. I'm teaching it concept by concept. All right. So anyways, back to business. We're looking at the 3. So E flat, F. The 3rd tone is going to be G. The 3, again, can serve as a landing tone or a passing tone. In this particular series, I'm focusing on the 3 more as a landing tone. We'll get into passing chords a little bit later. So on the 3, what you can do is you can play a 1 major over it. So E flat major. Right? So you can just play a major chord over it. You can also make it a sus2. So E flat, F, and B flat. Okay. You can make it as a chordal chord off of the 2nd scale degree. So 1, 2. That chordal chord really is just an inversion of the sus2 chord. Because here it is, right in root position, the sus2 E flat. When I put the E flat on the top, it becomes a chordal voicing, right? Stacking those fourths. So you can look at it that way. Or you can look at the 3 as a minor chord. So if I want to make this a minor, it can just be a straight G minor, G, B flat, and D, G, B flat, and D, right? Or you can make it a minor 7th, by going and finding that third and forming a major chord. So B flat major over that G in the bass makes it a G minor 7th, right? You can make it a G minor 9 by finding the 5th scale degree, 1, 3, 5, right? So that D and making that D a minor chord. That gives you a nice minor 9 sound. And you can make it in a minor 11th by going a whole step down from your bass. So bass is G, go down a whole step to F and form a major chord. Two, and then on to the 1. Alright, so that's things that you can do on the 3. Let's take a look at what you can do on the 4. 1, 2, 3. The 4 is going to be A flat. According to the number system, the 4 is typically going to be a major chord of some sort. So I can play it as a regular major, A flat, C, and E flat. I can make it a sus2 voicing. Instead of playing the 3, play the 2. That makes it a sus2. Technically, you can make it a sus4, but instead of playing that C, play a C sharp or a D flat. Alright, so that's things that you can do on the 4. You can also make this a major 7th and start extending it. To make it a major 7th, you find the 3rd of that chord, so 1, 3, which is C, and form a minor chord. So C minor over A flat gives you that A flat major 7th sound. If I want to make this a major 9th, I would find the 5th scale degree of the chord that I'm playing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and make it a major chord. So E flat major over that A flat gives you that A flat major 9th type of sound, right? Of course, you can play it a regular major and add that to. Okay, you can do that as well. And then last but not least, you have those 4 chordal options. So where you can build the chordal chord off of the 3. Right? 1, 2, 3. The 3 of the chord that I'm playing. 3, the 2, the 7, and the 6. Okay? And again, that 3, 2, 7, and 6 is relative to the chord that I'm playing, not necessarily the key that I'm in. So that's the way I'm thinking about it. So 1, 2, 3. 2, and then we know the 7th and the 6th. Alright, so those are all things that you can do on the 4. Let's take a look at the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is going to be B flat, right? Again, the 5 typically takes us to the 1, so we'll go over some of those options, but again, I have a whole tutorial on that as well that's coming out. So on the 5, you can make it a major chord. So 1, 3, and 5, or B flat, D, and F, right? You can make it a sus2 by playing that 2nd instead of the 3rd. So B flat, C, and F. Sus2, Sus4, right? You can add the 2, B flat, C, D, and F, and that's an option as well. Alright, another thing that you can do here is you can actually make this more like a suspended chord. So over the 5, you can play the 4 as a major chord. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So A flat, major. And that sounds pretty good. We talked about how you can play that as a 4 major 7th. So instead of A flat major, at that major 7th. And then we talked about how you can play this as a diminished, right? The 4, so A flat diminished. Let's get real tense now to take us back to that 1. Okay. Again, 4 over the 5. 4 major 7th over the 5. Diminished 7th over the 5. Right? Another thing you can do is just move those 2 on the inside in. So you can do, instead of A flat, C, E flat, and G, you can move the 2 interiors chord, those two interior notes down a half step, right? And keep your melody. And that works too. Alright, and then another thing you can do is play the 3 as a major chord over it. So 1, 2, 3, which is going to be G. So if I'm here, I can play a G major. And that sounds pretty good, right? So G major is G, B, and D. And I'm just playing with the inversions and taking it back to the 1. Alright, so that's some things that you can do on the 5. And then, of course, you have my favorite move, that West Angela's Church of God in Christ move, where they're in the 5. And they use the chordal movements based off of the 7 and the 6. So the 7 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The D, right? And then you take it down a whole step to the C, or off of the 6. And that gives you, it helps you to get back to the 1, right? That's an example of how you can use it from the 5 to the 1. Alright, so now we're on the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is going to be the C. In contemporary songs, a lot of, in talk music really, on the 6, you want to play the 4 in your right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, A flat as a major chord. Right? So A flat. You can also make this as an A flat sus 2. Right? Or an A flat add the 2. Or you can go a whole step down from your bass and play that as a chordal chord. So if C is my bass, right? Whole step down is B flat. Form a chordal chord off of that, right? And what these voicings do is it allows me to go from the 6 to the 7 to the 1. It's more like walking it up. Alright, we'll cover the 7 in a moment, but I just wanted to drop that in there for you. Alright, so that's how you can make the 6 sound more major. And it sounds more contemporary when you voice it this way. Alright? But you can also make the 6 minor. Alright? So the 6 is going to be C. You can play it as a C minor chord. And that's often going to be the case when you're playing like CCM type of songs, contemporary Christian music. The 6 is typically going to be minor. Like, you'll hear that type of progression in a lot of different songs. Like, there is power in the blood, in the name of Jesus. I mean, it just goes on and on. There's a lot of songs that use that pattern. But anyways, that's when the 6 is going to be just a straight minor triad, right? Sometimes less is more, and that will, get you to what you're trying to accomplish. But oftentimes you may want to expand this to make it sound a little bit more contemporary. So how do we expand our minor chords? Instead of playing a minor triad, make it a minor 7th. Right? How do I form this minor 7th? Again, I'm thinking bass note, go up a 3rd, right? So the flat 3rd is going to be E flat and form a major chord. So E flat, G, and B flat, right? You can also make this a minor 9, expand it this way. How do I form a minor 9? Find the 5th of that chord. So 1, 3, 5 is G, and make that a minor chord. So G, B flat, and D over that C minor. And that gives me my minor 1. So again, I'm not thinking, C, E flat, G, D, G, and B flat. I'm actually thinking C minor in my left hand and G minor in my right. And that's going to give me that minor 9 sound that I'm looking for. Alright. Then, of course, you have the minor 11th. That's where you go down a whole step from your bass. So my bass is C. And form a minor chord. Excuse me, form a major chord. So B flat, D, and F. And that gives me that minor 11th sound. Alright, so those are options that you can use on the 6. One thing that I like to do is start off with the minor 7th, right? And go down to the minor 11th. And it sounds really nice. So that sounds really good when you use that movement. And then the last scale degree of E flat major is going to be the 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Things that you can do on the 7. When you're playing contemporary songs, oftentimes you're going to want to play a 5 over the 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, B flat, and specifically a B flat major. So B flat, D, and F, right? And again, you can make this a sus2 chord. So B flat sus2, right? Or you can make it a B flat with the added 2 in it. And again, you can make this a quarter chord. C, F, and B flat by going a whole step down from your bass. Okay, and again, that goes nicely with the 6, 7, 1 walk up. So on the 6, we talked about using that quarter chord, 7, and going to the 1, right? Or 6, 7, 1. Okay. So those are some options that you can do on all of the diatonic tones of the E flat major scale. So what we're doing is we're giving you different chord voicings and options so that you begin to feel more comfortable when you're playing in different keys. Okay, later on, like I said in that series on how to actually learn how to play songs by ear, the information that you're learning here is going to be really helpful for that, because I'm going to give you the strategies and the tips and the hacks for what to listen out for and what to look for to figure out, okay, what type of chord do I play here or there? Am I playing a major chord, a minor chord, a diminished chord, a dominant chord, or an augmented chord of some sort? Right? And then once you figure that out, now I have different options for how to play it. Okay, so this is going to be really, really important that you practice this in all 12 keys. One of the exercises that I talked about doing was starting on the 1, and just walking down to the 2, 5, 1, right? And then once you walk it down, playing different voicings, walk it up. 1, 2, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 6. Okay. So I hope this is a blessing to you. Again, make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you like this content, because I'm going to be covering this topic and I'm going to be doing a series in all 12 keys on this. And then I'm going to build upon it, and everything that I plan on teaching here, I plan on teaching it in all 12 keys. That way you have an understanding and there will be no excuse for you to have to rely on the transpose button again. Alright, take care. God bless you. Goodbye.